What's up, guys? In today's episode, I want to talk about, can you still make money flipping real estate in 2024? If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Tran, and I flip multiple properties a year, making well over $1 million. Along with that, I run 7 other businesses that range from coffee, boba, virtual assistants, owning a brokerage. We do it all. But today is about flipping real estate. You've probably heard on the news that construction costs have gone up. Interest rates have gone up as well, and there's no inventory because people don't want to sell. But that couldn't be further from the truth, and here's why. As of filming this today, the interest rates have dropped a whole percent, and the feds have announced that they're going to be doing 3 cuts next year. The second thing is, yes, people are less likely to sell right now because the interest rates are a lot higher. But in every market, people always need to sell for one reason or another. They have a job relocation. They have to downsize. They can no longer afford the house. It is those opportunities that's where you're gonna make all your money. The funny thing is, this story that we've been hearing, this narrative, has been around for like a whole year. And if I had listened and just was afraid and just stood on the sidelines, I would have missed out on a whole $1 million of income being made. Every single one of our properties all made a profit. While they were scared and stepping out, I was actually in negotiating on these deals, and because there were less competition, I was actually able to snag these property up for a huge discount. And that's actually the lesson, guys. When you're flipping real estate, you need to make your money in the buy. And what does that mean is that you don't actually make it when you sell, but rather you have to buy it for such a big discount where it's gonna be very hard for you to lose money. And I know there's a lot of people out there saying, well, how do you do that? Are you scamming people? No. Here's the thing. A lot of people have properties that are just dilapidated, full of trash, and they don't want to deal with it. And that problem that they're facing is how you step in and provide value. Look, leave all the trash. That kitchen that's old, the bathroom that's falling apart, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. So you do have to do some work to pump in that equity. And that, guys, is all in flipping. That's what we do. We add value. As a matter of fact, one of the properties that we made the most money on was also the most dilapidated. And they needed the money to just move. They didn't want to deal with fixing it up, and we gave them the option. We said, look, if you fix it up, you can get this. And they were like, but Brian, I don't want to fix it up. Like, I don't have the manpower, I don't have the money to fix it up. I just want to make my $200,000-$300,000 and get the heck out of here and move to another state where I can buy a house in cash, it'd be all done, and I can just live a comfortable life. They didn't want to deal with the headaches, because the truth of the matter is, flipping real estate can be a headache if you don't know what you're doing. It's managing contractors, it's managing budgets, it's making sure that everything just comes together. But that's why flippers make what we make. If you guys are getting a lot of value out of this, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up and shoot down some comments down below. So if you're thinking about flipping real estate in 2024, here are some of my best advice to make sure that you make money and block out some of that noise. First thing I would do is establish your standards. You want to make sure that going into every property, you have your standard in place. And for me, I like to make anywhere from 10% of the ARV. So on a $1 million property, okay, after all expenses, after all the fees, I would like to make $100,000. And the timeline is, I only like to take on projects where from the day that we close on the property to the day that we sell it and get paid is no more than 6 months, okay? If it goes beyond 6 months, I would actually like to make anywhere from 12 to 15% of ARV. Why? Because my time is worth a certain amount. And so if I'm not making at least 10% of ARV, right, I gotta, it's gotta be a faster project. It's gotta be a very quick one where all I have to do is maybe paint the walls and throw it on the market. That's the only exception. So again, establishing the standards. The other thing is that in your standards, make sure like these are the areas I wanna buy. This is how much of a budget I wanna spend. Like for example, with us, if the construction cost goes over $200,000, we rather just wholesale the project. And the reason why is because if it's over $200,000 in construction, it's probably gonna be a more hands-on project where it's gonna take a lot longer. It probably is gonna require more than just cosmetic. It might be dealing with foundation or a cracked wall or something on a hill. Like we try to stay away with that. That's our standards. So make sure you establish that before you go out and start hunting for deals. Because if you don't, what happens with what I see with a lot of other flippers, they'll buy anything and everything. And what happens is they end up losing money because, they didn't buy right. They bought it just to do the deal. My second piece of advice is do not take on projects for the sake of taking on projects, guys. Like, make sure that you run the numbers, make sure that they are basically gonna make money, right? Don't guess and say, oh, but I think next year with the Feds cutting the rates 3 times, interest rates should drop 1%, and therefore if it drops 1%, the value is gonna go up $100,000. You don't know that. And I think a lot of flippers got into major trouble speculating, and when the market turned, right, they were stuck holding 5 or 6 properties, now losing $100,000 a piece. The third piece of advice that I'm gonna share with you, and this is maybe just a Bay Area thing because our home prices are just so high, but your property has to be a little unique, whether it be an accent wall or fake beams. It's got to do something to make it pop. Because what we're finding is that there are a lot of remodeled homes on the market right now, and they start to blend in, right? And as a buyer, if you're looking at 3 or 4 properties a day, you don't remember which one you like the best because it starts to blur together. But if your property is, let's say, had that nice blue accent wall in every single room and the fake beams running across, or a massive fire mantle that is just super beautiful, right? That will make your property stand out. That will make your property the #1 contender when these buyers are thinking about which one should they offer on. So, I'm not telling you to break the bank, right? Painting an extra wall blue or throwing out these faux beams doesn't actually cost a whole lot, but that extra $1,000 or $3,000 that you spend is gonna leave a lasting impact on the buyers. The fourth piece of advice I have for you is when it comes to picking your contractor, don't always go for the cheapest. But obviously you don't wanna go for the most expensive because the most expensive doesn't always mean the best quality either. Visit the job sites of the contractor that you're gonna pick and look at the quality of work. Because again, like what I mentioned in the third tip, which is like making sure your property is unique, you also wanna make sure that your property is done nicely. Because the buyers in 2024 are gonna be way more picky because they're gonna have more options to choose from, and also because there's gonna be less buyers, less competition, they're gonna be more nitpicky. I've been in the last cycle, 2012, 2013, where buyers were asking for credits for everything. And they were going through these flip projects and they were just nitpicking. Oh, that's not straight. Oh, that needs to be recaulked. Oh, they didn't cut the tiles correctly. Oh, all the tiles are uneven. It's coming back, right? When it becomes a buyer's market, they get very picky. So your contractor is gonna need to have that quality on point. So make sure you get a good quality contractor, obviously that doesn't break the bank and still allows you to make a profit. But if you go super cheap and the quality's trash, you're just gonna shoot yourself in the foot. The buyer's gonna pick it out, they're gonna ask for credit back, or worse yet, they're not even gonna offer on your property. My final piece of advice for you is this: you have to learn to block out the noise and get your information from the right source. Do not get your information from people that aren't actually flipping real estate and making money. Now, you're watching this video and I'm here to tell you that we're still making money, we're still profitable, and ultimately it comes down to just listening to all the other steps that we've done. If you understand value, you could flip anything. It comes into buying right and making sure you have a good product. Somebody is gonna buy it. So if you wanna make money in 2024, do a little bit more research, go talk to your local flipper who's making 6, 7 figures, and jump in, guys, because you could still make a lot of money. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you got a lot of value, make sure you hit the subscribe button. My content is just regarding flipping, business, entrepreneur, motivational. Yeah, let me know what you guys want to see. If you want more flipping content, shoot me down a comment. I'll start posting more flipping content. If you want to know more about just business in general, we can do that too. Peace out.